Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, has announced she's running for the Republican presidential nomination in 2024. She's the second contender to join the race after her one-time boss, the former president, Donald Trump. The 51-year-old former South Carolina governor is pitching herself as a new face to lead a generational shift in the Republican Party. But recent polling shows that just 4% of Republican voters back Haley, while 43% support Trump.
I'm Nikki Haley, and it's great to be back.
For more, let's go to Michaela Kufner in Washington. Michaela, 4%, that is not much. Is Nikki Haley a danger for Trump? Could she really win the primaries?
Well, let me ask a counter question. Nobody believed, really nobody, in any analyst you asked in 2016 that Donald Trump would win. When he went into the primary race, everybody thought he would drop out pretty early and he wouldn't be any threat. Now we are in a Trump party. That's still the Republicans. And yes, it depends on whether you believe in the early polling. Nikki Haley, after all, is someone who one could describe as a person who has mastered navigating Donald Trump probably like nobody else. She went from somebody warning against him to someone who says something like this. Let's listen in.
I would not run if President Trump ran. And I would talk to him about it. That's something that we'll have a conversation about at some point if that decision is something that has to be made. But yeah, I would absolutely. I had a great working relationship with him. I appreciated the way he let me do my job. I thought we did some fantastically great foreign policy things together.
Well, and that fantastically great policy was, amongst other things, pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal. So she went from someone warning against him to someone who is now running against him. Donald Trump, for his part, wished her good luck. At this moment in time, it looks like she will still need it.
What are her real chances? You say, the U.S. is always open for surprises, but realistically, does she have a shot?
Well, she's the second person to declare. She's the first person except for Donald Trump. We're still waiting to hear from Ron DeSantis, who everybody expects to declare, the governor of Florida. Also, former vice president of Donald Trump, Mike Pence, is also expected to enter the race. Two others are also potential, so it's really very much early days. The more people join the primaries, the more likely, mathematically, it becomes for Donald Trump to pull through in the end, to once again become the wild card. This is a party that is in inner turmoil. It is fighting with itself over the very person Trump. One thing is for sure, though, that Trumpism will survive into this next election campaign. And here the question is whether Nikki Haley, who entered the race making a big thing about her immigrant legacy, her parents came from India, and at the same time, she was someone who really backed Trump during his heyday, also as UN ambassador, whether she will find a way to navigate this and actually oppose him and to become that new generation she said that the party wants. And clearly the desire is there, but who will fit that bill? I have question marks whether Nikki Haley really would become the person to do that. Ron DeSantis looks like the more popular candidate for now.
I quickly want to ask you about the timing. Why did she announce her candidacy so early?
Well, she beat the most likely contender, according to the polls, Ron DeSantis, certainly to it. I think she's the one who's taking the greatest risk. The later you declare, the clearer the picture. But I think her calculation is also that she probably wants to attract campaign funding to her pretty early on. We know that there is big money lined up behind the scenes to oppose Donald Trump, whatever that means. Here, we're likely to see Ron DeSantis really get more traction as sitting governor. But it is a calculation for her, but it certainly gave her a lot more airtime than some of the other candidates will probably get further down the line.
Michaela Kufner in Washington, thanks for that update.